Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something huge, Google's massive bet on healthcare. We're not just talking about a new product. We're talking about a plan to completely rewire the entire industry from the ground up, all using data and AI.
You know, when you think about it, the healthcare and life sciences industry, it literally runs on data. Every single thing, from developing new drugs to the care you get at the doctor's office, it's all built on this mountain of information. And that mountain, it's getting bigger every single second.
But here's the kicker, and this number is just wild. A whopping 87% of that supercritical health data is, well, it's a mess. It's unstructured, which is a fancy way of saying it's locked up in doctor's notes, scattered lab reports, and yeah, even faxes. Can you believe it? Faxes?
So, the big question is, how in the world do we unlock all that potential just sitting there? Well, Google's answer isn't what you might think. It's not about launching one shiny new product. It's a whole new way of thinking. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. To really get what's going on, we need to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this thing. We're talking about a massive opportunity, but also a really, really big problem that everyone in healthcare is wrestling with. And check this out, just to give you a sense of the data explosion we're talking about, the global genomics market alone is expected to more than quadruple to over $80 billion by 2032. That's not a stream of new data, that's an absolute tidal wave. So on one hand, you have this incredible promise, right? We're talking about truly personalized medicine, care journeys tailored just for you, and faster innovation. But then, there's the reality. For so many doctors and patients, the day-to-day is a nightmare of disconnected systems, data silos, and just crushing administrative work that leads to burnout. And this quote from Fathom, one of Google's partners, just hits the nail on the head. They say, medical coding today is fundamentally broken and getting worse. This isn't some high-level, abstract problem. This is the basic operational stuff that's just collapsing under the weight of old-school manual processes and a shortage of people to do the work. Okay, so you've got this massive data crisis. What's Google's big plan? What's their grand strategy? Well, here's the twist. It's not what you'd expect. They're not trying to build every single solution themselves. Instead, they are going all in on what's called an ecosystem strategy. Think of it this way. Google isn't trying to be the next giant healthcare software company. No, they're trying to be the foundational platform where the next 100 innovative healthcare companies can build their own amazing solutions. They're building the stage, not being the only actor.
And this whole strategy is built around a really logical flow of data. Step 1, get the data from all those different source systems. Step 2, bring it all together in the cloud, clean it up, make it consistent. And then, the final and most important step, actually put that data to work through powerful applications that people can use.
So what's the engine driving all of this? It really comes down to 3 core pieces of tech. You've got BigQuery for handling massive amounts of data, the healthcare API to make sure all these different systems can actually talk to each other, which is a huge deal, and of course Vertex AI to build and run all the cool AI models. It's like the common landing gear, as they call it, that every single partner can build upon.
All right, a big vision is great, but it's only as good as the results it actually delivers in the real world, right? So let's see how this all comes together. This is where the partners really come into the picture.
So first up, we have a company called Redux. Their whole mission is to tackle that first massive hurdle, getting all that valuable data out of those clunky old-school electronic health record systems and into a modern cloud environment where you can actually use it.
And the really amazing part is how fast they can do it. We're talking about getting live, usable data flowing in just 4 to 6 weeks. To put that in perspective, that same process used to take, no joke, well over a year. That is a massive difference.
Next up is Fathom, the company we heard from earlier. They're using AI to tackle that fundamentally broken process of medical coding. This is such a huge bottleneck for so many healthcare providers. And the impact they're having is just huge. On average, they're automating 85% of the coding work across different medical fields. What does that mean? It means lower costs and, crucially, getting paid much, much faster.
Then you've got a company like Pager. Their focus is all about the patient experience. They use this cool blend of AI and actual human teams to create something like a doctor-in-the-family experience, guiding you through this super confusing healthcare system.
And this isn't just a nice to have. It delivers real, tangible savings. We're talking about certified actuaries who've calculated that they save the system an average of $211 for every single clinical encounter, mostly by helping people avoid expensive and unnecessary trips to the ER. And what about that burnout crisis we talked about? Well, a company called Augmedix is tackling that head-on. They use AI that basically listens in on a doctor-patient conversation and automatically writes up all the clinical notes. For doctors, this is an absolute game changer. It's saving them 2 to 3 hours of paperwork every single day. Think about that. So what all these partners show us is that this isn't just a theory. The ecosystem is already here and it's delivering real, measurable value right now.
Okay, so we've seen what these partners are building, and it's incredible stuff. But what's the tech that's actually making it all possible? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside the AI engine room. Now, this didn't just happen overnight. Google's been on this AI journey for a long time. We're talking a decade plus. It all started way back with things like acquiring DeepMind, and then in 2017, inventing the transformer architecture, which is literally the foundation of all modern AI. That journey has led them all the way to today's incredibly powerful Gemini models.
And what's cool is that Google isn't forcing everyone to use just their own stuff. They have this thing called the Model Garden, which is exactly what it sounds like. It gives developers a choice of over 130 different AI models. So you can pick the absolute best tool for the job, whether it's one of Google's like Gemini or a popular one from the open source world.
And they give you 2 different ways to get started. There's AI Studio, which is perfect for just playing around, trying out new ideas really quickly. And then, when you're ready to get serious, there's Vertex AI Studio. That's the enterprise-grade platform for building secure, scalable, production-ready AI solutions. So, the technology is clearly here. The partners are already building amazing things on top of it. But what's next? What does the road ahead look like? And maybe more importantly, what are the big hurdles we still need to clear? Well, when you ask industry leaders what the biggest barriers are, you get a really interesting answer. It turns out it's not just about having the best technology. It's really about the people and the processes. The biggest hurdles are things like changing the mindset inside organizations, moving from seeing AI as just a cost to seeing it as a way to create value. It's about getting data governance and trust right. It's about building more flexible, agile ways of working. And this one is huge. It's about educating everyone on the teams so they know how to use these new tools. You see the pattern here, right? Almost all of these challenges are about people and process, not just the tech.
And that really brings us full circle, back to that core idea of the ecosystem. The future of innovation in healthcare, it's not going to be built by one company working alone in a silo. It's going to be built together, collaboratively. So I guess the real question that leaves us with is, who's ready to jump in and start building?